Hello, dear children. Welcome to your EVS session. Once again, we meet here virtually, and today we are going to start with chapter number 20 of EVS, and that is Universal Bodies. Children, this chapter is all about, as you just see on the screen, it is a globe, and this is what we have. It's a model of Earth, right? So, yes, we are going to discuss about our Earth and many other universal bodies. Now, first of all, what is the meaning of universal bodies? The question is here. So, let's start. So, the first thing that we see here is universal bodies, and we see the sun shining bright in the sky. In the morning, right when you wake up, you will see it's all illuminated, it's all lit up, and it is the sun that is providing us with that light. So the sun is shining bright in the sky, and that is the reason why we are able to see the daylight. Yes. So another thing, at night we see numerous stars and moon beautifully shining in the sky. And children, there is one amazing and very interesting fact about the sun. You know, it never goes away. It is there. And it's just that it just gives you the light which is needed by that time. Suppose we see the moon at night, but you can't see the sun. Yes, it just sets down, but it is the only thing that provides the moon the light. The moon doesn't have the light of its own. It is the sun that provides the moon with that light. And the reason is this. Same goes for the stars. Stars are present in the sky all the time, even in the daytime. But you're not able to see the stars. Those stars, why? Because it is the daylight that hides those stars. But when it gets darker, you see the stars clearly in the night sky, right? So apart from these, there are various other planets that move around the sun. Apart from stars, the sun, we have different other planets as well. And what do? They move around the sun. Okay, that is what they do. We'll study more about it in further the lesson that we are going to study. So the sun, the moon, the earth, and the planet all are universal bodies. So we call them collectively universal bodies. What is universal? That can be seen by everybody, that is common to everyone. Universe, right? Everyone is able to know this. Everyone knows about that fact. So we have the sun, the moon, only one in the world. The earth, these are called universal bodies. And so it goes for the planets as well. They are all one. Earth is one, and so the other planets even. They are one in number. So whatever there is, this one thing in the world is called universal and is common for everyone. Now, let's move on. Here we see our solar system. So let's take a close look at what it looks like. So children, this is the sun, and we've got many rings you can see around it. These rings are what? Now, as we go, you can see the sun is the biggest in size, right? So there are 8 planets in all, as we can see in the solar system. We have Mercury, we have Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So we have 8 planets, but earlier there were 9. There was one more planet, but currently that one planet has been removed from the solar system, from the count of solar system. We do not count it in the solar system because of its size. The size of that planet was really small, therefore it was not counted in the solar system, and that planet was Pluto, and it is now categorized as a dwarf planet, which means a very tiny planet. Okay, so we have our 8 planets here that, what do? They move around the sun. Okay, so children, they move around in a fixed path, which is called an orbit. As you can see, there are many rings around this sun, and the planets are moving in their fixed path. And so this fixed path is known as its orbits. They do not have the light of their own. They do not have the heat. Who provides them with that? It's the sun that provides the planets with the heat and light. Okay, so now children, these all 8 planets should be learned in a series. We can see the sizes here, and we can see some planets with rings, right? And which is our planet? I think we all know that, and that is the 3rd planet, and that is the Earth, the blue planet, right? As you can see, there is a lot of blue in our planet, and it's the most beautiful too. Yes, and we can see many other things as well. We can see the biggest planet in size, the smallest one in size. So, yes, let's talk about our own planet, the Earth. So, children, before that, let's take a look at the sizes. Okay, here we have some space stats. That means how big are the planets, right? So there are some planets. We can see here the planets are in a form of fruits. So it is better to understand in this form, because if you understand it like this, you will be able to understand it clearly. Okay, let's go with Mercury. The first planet we have is Mercury. Mercury is really small, like a peppercorn, and it's a fruit, as you can see, like that. Then we come to Venus. Venus is a little bigger. Okay, and it looks like a cherry tomato. Same goes for Earth. Earth and Venus, almost the same sizes. Now, let's come to the Mars. Mars looks like a blueberry. Okay, that size of the planet is like that of a blueberry. Anyway, then we come to Jupiter. Jupiter, watermelon. You can see the size of Jupiter is the maximum, is the biggest of all. And so it is compared to a watermelon. Now, moving on, we have Saturn. Saturn, it's a large grapefruit. It's also big in size, but not as big as Jupiter. Jupiter is the biggest so far. Then we come to Neptune. Neptune is that of the size of an apple. It's not actually an apple. It's just a description, just to tell you, just to explain you the sizes, the variations, the differences between the sizes of planets. Then we come to our Uranus. Okay, first comes Uranus, then comes Neptune. Now, so children, almost these all Neptune, Uranus, these two look similar in sizes, but which is the biggest here? It's the Jupiter, right? And the smallest is the Mercury. We have Mercury as the smallest planet in size, and we have Jupiter, that is the biggest in size. So children, remember these two things, biggest and smallest. Okay. Now we talk about our own planet, that is Earth. Okay, so the Earth, what you need to know about our planet Earth. First thing, that the Earth is the 3rd planet in our solar system. As we see, as we go from Mercury, then we come to Venus, then we have Earth, right? So all this, in all this series, we stand in number 3. We stand 3rd. It is the only planet where life is possible. Absolutely. It is the only one planet where life is possible. So, because of the availability of air, water, okay, Therefore, these two things are extremely important to live. So, number 3, we have 71% of Earth's surface is covered with water. Therefore, it is called the blue planet. Correct. Why is it called the blue planet, children? You just take a look at this one figure. We have Earth as a sample here. So what do you see in this picture? There is the maximum of blue shade. And what is that blue stands for? That blue is for the water, right? As we have studied in maps, we denote water with blue color. And so maximum percent of our Earth is covered by water. And so therefore, we call it the blue planet. That is the one reason why we call it the blue planet. Okay, children. So that is for our planet Earth. Okay. Next point we have here is Earth's rotation. Well, how does it move, children? We need to understand the movement of the planet also. Okay, just knowing about the Earth in a nutshell, it's not important. We need to know how it moves around, how it motions, what it is about, how it is moving in the space. So Earth's rotation, first thing, we know this word rotation. What is it? Earth spins around its axis just as a top spins around its spindle. Children, you must have all played with this one thing called top. It's a top, and in Hindi we call it lattu. And so children, you must have played with this one thing in your childhood, or maybe even now you're young to play with it. So it actually rotates in its own place, in that one place. So that particular space is known as its axis. Okay, so the same thing is with our planet Earth. It keeps on moving in its own place at its own axis. So this spinning movement is called Earth's rotation, and the way it moves around, round and round in its own place, that movement is called as Earth's rotation. So rotation is one thing. At the same time that the Earth spins on its axis, it also orbits or revolves around the sun. This movement is called revolution. Now, students, we have come across another term, that is revolution here. One is rotation, that is the movement of Earth on its own axis, on its own place. But along with the rotation, it also takes round around the sun. And that is what is called as revolution. Okay, so I hope this concept is clear. Let's understand it more closely, sorry. We have rotation here. Okay, let's see. The rotation of Earth. As you can see, Earth over here, we have day and night. Okay, so this is the result of rotation. What happens when the Earth rotates? Day and night happens. How? As you see here, there is the sun. And I already told you, children, these planets, they do not have their own light or heat. Who provides them with it? The sun, right? So now the sun has provided light to the part where you can see some day. And wherever the light falls on the planet, there occurs the day. Okay, and if you see, the light falls on one face, on this face, but here it is dark. So this face is bright, and so the brighter part becomes the day. And children, you know that the planet keeps on rotating on its own place. So what happens? Wherever the sun is giving its light, that part is day. That part of Earth is your day, and the other part is definitely covered dark. Okay, and it is not lit up. The sun's heat and light, it's not reaching this part because it is reaching this part of the planet. So the other part of the planet becomes dark, and therefore it is night at that part. Okay, that is how days and nights are formed. So rotation, what does it cause? It causes days and nights. So this was for rotation. Now we come to revolution. The other part was revolution, children. Here, revolution, I told you, when the planet revolves around sun, see, one movement is on its own axis, like a top. It moves around, keep on moving. Next, what else does the planet do? It also takes around the sun. All the planets, they move around the sun also. So here we can see these arrows, and we can see this movement, this motion. So we can see spring, summer, autumn, winter. All these are seasons, right? So when the planet revolves around the sun, what happens? What does it cause? It causes seasons, the change of seasons, different seasons. Okay, because the earth takes around in complete 1 year and 6 hours more. So it is also one interesting thing to learn, that when the planet takes around the sun, it takes 1 year, 365 days and 6 hours more to complete one round, to complete one revolution. So it is a huge time. It's a large time. So now, children, so that is what is happening in revolution. Revolution is what? It causes change of seasons, right? Now we move to the causes. As I just told you, let's go deeper in it. So the causes, rotation, revolution. We can see both of them in one sheet. So rotation, what is to rotate? Is to spin or turn, like it spins in one place. Whereas revolve, what is to revolve? Revolve is to go around, like taking around. Okay, as you see the motion, in the middle there is the sun and the planet is taking around. So that is called revolution. And now let's take a look at rotation. Rotation takes 24 hours or 1 day. Yes, of course, 1 day is equivalent to 24 hours. We have 24 hours in 1 day. So children, one rotation, like how much time does the planet need to take one rotation? It takes the whole day. Just to spin around its own axis, the planet takes 1 day, or you can say 24 hours. And what does it cause? It causes day and night. That's okay, that's clear. And now coming on to revolve. Revolution, one revolution. What is the duration of one revolution? We have 365 days, or you simply call it a year. Okay, and then the causes are the seasons, the change in the seasons, right? So yes, just like we had read here, we have seen the change of seasons here. Winter, then spring comes, in summer, then autumn. All these seasons are changing in one revolution. Okay, and we know that in 1 year we come across many seasons. So that is the reason. Revolution is the reason. Now children, in this class we have this much to learn. Children, go ahead and just read about all what you have learned in this session. Kindly take a reading of your chapter once, and I'm sure you will be able to understand better with the help of this presentation because the visuals always work. So yes, I hope you have learned from this video, and I'll see you in the next session. Hopefully, we'll meet in the Zoom class and we'll continue further in this chapter in the class. Okay, children, till then, just take care, look after yourself and your family, be safe, be happy. Thank you.